Hey everybody, yes, it is your favorite Wild PK again. Yes, it's Lady Abdullah, and I'm here for just a little bit of encouragement today. And special guest again, it's my hubby. Yay! I love you, baby. Yes. Oh. So we're gonna dive in and get a little personal this time. So my husband, if you didn't watch the previous video, my husband was raised Muslim and I was raised Christian. And when we got together, it was like, not between us, like we were so gung-ho. We was ready, weren't we, baby?
Yes.
Come on, he was ready for this tenderoni. But my parents are pastors now. And at the time, they struggled with this idea that their daughter was dating someone who was Muslim. Like, it was, not only was it taboo, it was the last thing that they had wanted for me. And between their idea of what I should have in a partner and a mate. Now, I'll tell you, me and my husband, we've been together for 10 years and we're about to celebrate our 5th year anniversary, right? Year married anniversary?
Yeah.
I know, it crept up on us, didn't it? So our 5-year anniversary is November the 7th, and we are excited. So just in case y'all want to send a little love, hey, you can do that, okay? Before we go forward, make sure you like, share, tag somebody, leave a comment in the comment box, just sharing your testimony and your experience with maybe, hey, maybe you were from a different background, culture, religion, and now you're married to someone who's Christian, or vice versa, and you're like, I am struggling to get people on board. And the reality is, you may not. But I wanted you guys to get my husband's perspective, because I could talk about it all day because they're my parents, but I wanted him to be able to share with you guys his perspective on it. So baby, how was it not even the first years. I'll just say from the moment that I introduced you to my parents to us getting married to now, how has that process been?
So, from introduction, it wasn't really, it was like any old kind of conversation, more or less, just meeting your people and talking to your dad, talking to your mom. It seemed pretty much, pretty stock standard. It wasn't until I said we said we wanted to get married, then, the questions started popping up and so forth. And it is something that I've technically dealt with before in my lifetime, because I'm a black Muslim male living in America. So a lot of those conversations I've been having my entire life, well, would you believe in this? Or do you believe in Jesus? Do you, or do you believe in, so it's just all kinds of nonsense that you hear on the news, and I got hit with a lot of those kind of questions. I will say initially it was kind of alienating, just because I wasn't met immediately with open arms.
Right.
It's always just a sense of reservation, all the way down to, doing family events and so forth, and my name doesn't really come up, about being able to participate, so, or even something as simple as inviting you to do things, like family trips and things of the nature. And this is after we've been married, and my name doesn't necessarily come up. But as time has gone on, especially after we had our first child, I would say that bridges have not necessarily been mended, because you can't mend something that was never really there, but they're under construction.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
They're under construction, and it's going at a government pace, if people know the joke.
You're silly.
So but it's slow and steady, but it's better than nothing at all. It is not nearly as much tension as it was just before we got married. So that's been great, because at the end of the day, we're family regardless of how, regardless of what my religion is or how they may feel about my upbringing. which it wasn't a negative. It wasn't any really negative connotations. It's just concerns about someone who'd been brought up so differently.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we've learned a lot more about each other. And I love my in-laws, of course, but I just kind of working. I feel like I didn't get the same amount of cultural shorthand that I probably would have gotten if I had been Christian. There wouldn't have been a lot of questions as to what my intentions were necessarily if I had immediately checked that first box, which wound up working out because that meant I had to explain. They had to genuinely get to know me, not just, oh, he's this, oh, he's a good Christian boy, so I don't need to know anything further. That made them more inquisitive about my intentions, about who I am, where I come from, what I want to do with their daughter, what I want my future to be with their daughter. So it worked out. Obviously, it worked out.
It worked out because I got the ring to prove it. Yes. You know what, baby? Something that you said, that even though in that journey, it has brought us closer to them in that process. And I can also say that even for myself, it was hard to be in love with someone and then your family not surround you in that same kind of love and go, I'm so for it, I'm with it. But I will say this though, it made us really rely on each other on a different level that maybe propelled us and made us much stronger. Whereas a lot of times in a relationship, you are doing topical things like, what's your favorite color? What sign are you? If this was the perfect date, what would it be for you? And it's like those things, I'm not gonna say that they don't matter.
And we got to still do that kind of stuff, but we didn't have the luxury of living in that space for very long.
Correct. And because we didn't have the luxury of doing it, it made us iron sharpening iron. Like we had to go to battle for each other's behalf. Like, it allowed me to respect him even more because when we were dating, I fought so hard for him. I was like, you guys don't know him. You can't talk about him that way. You can't say these things. And then for him, now that, and even that we're married, he covers me so well. So when a family member might say something that could potentially hurt my feelings, oh, he's quick. Oh, he's quick.
You're number one. So it's like,
he's got my back.
I have your back, and you're my favorite person. So
yes.
So it wouldn't make sense for me, no matter what it is, for me not to back you, because at the end of the day, it's us. It's me and you. Mm-hmm. We go home together. So
that's right.
So it's like it doesn't benefit me to be any other way.
Something that you said a long time ago, and then we're gonna wrap up after this. Mm-hmm. You said that to one of your relatives, you said that it's like if it's you and your husband, you guys are gonna be together and y'all are gonna grow old together, and then you want me to forsake her. It's like, what you want me to do is forsake her and do what you want me to do. He's like, I can't do that. He's like, you're going to go off and live the rest of your life and I'm going to be alone. That's what he said. This is my person. He's like, she is my person, so I choose her. And if you're in a situation where you're trying to convince your family, like you're trying to convince them, family, friends, and I'm not talking about just, wanting to be with somebody, whether you're, for me and my husband, I feel like we were God ordained. And I feel like what we're going to do is to have a movement in this time and age to encourage somebody else. But if it's a union that's supposed to happen and God has ordained it, you have to leave and cleave. Like, if you gotta stop talking to certain people, as long as you're not in danger, as long as it's not a hurtful relationship or it's toxic in any kind of way, I support healthy relationships that make you grow. Like, he made me stronger. He made me bolder. He made me more confident. And I hope I did the same thing for you.
Absolutely. You definitely made me bolder. And I would even go as far as to say you helped me focus on insight or we're looking into the future.
Yeah.
And understanding that, you know, there is life beyond today, especially, and there is life beyond tomorrow, and putting yourself in a position where your life can move forward. So,
well, hey, you know what? I want to pray for you right now. Father God, we just say thank you for those families, those friends, those loved ones that are having uncommon relationships and are struggling to find their path, God. Let them continue to hear your voice and what they should do. And God, anything that doesn't benefit them, that doesn't bring them closer to you, that doesn't bring them closer to their purpose and destiny, God, we ask that you remove it. Cut those ties and let those wounds heal as well. Whether it's hurtful words, whether it's embarrassment, or God, even if it was just shame or abandonment, God, we ask that you heal those moments. Whether it's family, friends, other loved ones, or just even just a lack of presence in someone else's life, God. We ask that you stand up and affirm that relationship. You make it stronger. You make it more connected, God. Let them continue to seek your face and what they would do. And God, we just say thank you in advance. Amen. Hey, you guys, this was good. Baby, I thought you was going to spill all the tea. You kept a little tea for yourself, I appreciate you.
why would you spill something you want?
Oh, okay. Well, don't spill the tea. That's what my baby says. Hey, you guys, continue to like, share, follow, share this message with somebody that you know that may be having a hard time. This is just encouragement to let you know you're not alone, okay? So while you're out there, continue to be wild for God.